As you can see, the roof needs some work. As you can see, our roof needs a lot of work. It is leaking like a sieve. This roof is made of bark. Nothing goes to waste on a frontier homestead like this. So the very bark that came off the trees that made the cabin goes right on the roof. Normally, when we kind of think of this, you know, as a classic roof on a cabin, we think of a wooden shingle or a wooden shake like this, split out of wood. This is a wintertime project. It's not this time of year when everything is happening so fast, very seasonal. You got to do the things that are happening in the particular season or you will be behind. So we can't stop to make shingles. So we are going to fix our roof with bark that we have split off of the trees here recently. Now is the time to take bark off of trees. It's that season. So we've got bark to fix up our roof while we make shingles for the future. And the shingles we will make in the winter time when there's nothing else to do. So let's get working on this roof. So the bark we're using today is a little bit of tulip and a little bit of basswood to cover up our holes. Really, we could put 2 or 3 layers on this thing to help it out. A lot of different kinds of barks can be used. Probably the very best is elm tree bark because the fibers interlock in the bark and when it stretches, it doesn't get these splits that run all the way from one end to the other. We don't have a whole lot of elm that grows here anymore, so tulip is one of the easiest to get a hold of, and basswood, really nice, thick, very, very strong bark. But as soon as it gets wet again, it'll start to get soft. So we have to be careful with our weight logs. I can step on this roof when it's dry, but when it's wet, I would probably go right through it. So it really looks like we need one down this one, another one here. That one I think we can kind of fill in with other stuff. And this one, the question is, I mean, we've only got one sheet, so what's the worst one, right?
Worst one's probably this, because it's just got that little...
Yeah, it's got to leak like crazy right there. So, okay, we'll put it right here. I'm a little worried about breaking through occasionally. It's not the strongest stuff sometimes. Some of it feels great and other pieces feel real soft. That's a big piece. Look at that. We might be able to cover 2 different ones. What if we did that? Right there. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's going to cover a lot of stuff.
Okay.
A lot of holes.
Good. That is beautiful. Try that. Yep. No, it's tight down on it. It isn't gonna move. Okay, looks like that's all we got to do. We're out of bark. So unfortunately, we ran out of bark. Like normal, there's never enough bark to go around, but it's so much better than it was before. Our giant leaks are gone, and as we get a little bit more bark in the next week or two, we'll be able to add just a few more pieces. It'll make it a lot better, and the bark is going to stop peeling in about a week or 2 weeks. You won't be able to get the bark off the trees, not in big sheets like that. So if we're going to get it done, it's got to get done now. It's only been a week since we were out here. We got the bark earlier that we used on the cabin, and it came off the trees, no problem whatsoever. We cut down another basswood that's just perfect for this particular thing, and it is almost impossible to get the bark off. We are fighting it and fighting it. It's gonna have to come off in smaller pieces. That's the seasonality of it. Boy, you miss the window for getting the bark off and forget it. All bets are off. Well, that's all the bark we can get off of this tree, but it will not go to waste. Just like everything on the homestead, nothing goes to waste. Everything gets used up. So we'll come back when this is dried up a little bit, cut it up into pieces, and we'll be using this in future projects. It's nice and warm in here, raining outside, very few leaks anymore. It's looking really good. The tiny little holes that are still in the roof, they kind of seal up as they get wet. The roof swells a little bit and blocks the water. Feels so good to get in here and know that everything is gonna stay dry. Nobody wants to, go to sleep under a drip. So much better in here. We can start to work on other projects around the homestead. We've got so much more to do. Blacksmithing and woodworking and working with clay, lots and lots of projects. Hey, stay tuned to the channel while we keep working on these, and hey, try out this video.